Why in the world did I start live and forget to bring another drink? Hang on. I'm here, I swear. Hello, everybody. Welcome to whatever this is. It is Saturday evening. I have my Diet Mountain Dew. How is everyone feeling? How's everyone doing? How are we holding up? I don't know why I clicked that. I just had a wild hair up my butt that I need to go revisit Infinite Lives again and look at re-editing that. So, in case you don't know, in 2009, we went to E3 and we shot a documentary, and I still have all of the original footage in high definition, but I've been looking to recut it for a few years and been looking for a reason to. So now I'm just going through those thought processes of like, what do I do? Do I want to do it? It's worth the effort. Are 5 people going to tune in and do that? Currently tripping right now. What's up, man? I don't know. A YouTube stream would be a little overstimulating for me if I was tripping. My goodness. It's a lot of things going on and people talking and all that stuff. That's a lot. It can be a lot, but hey, if you can handle it, go for it. We are at the end of a snowstorm. It's been the past 3 days. I started a new job this week, and Monday, Tuesday went into the office. Then Tuesday night, it started snowing on election night, really bad, and then it's been consistently snowing ever since. And so last night, it finally gave up, and so it's been melting this morning, and I've been sleeping all day. I'm also coming down with a cold or something like that, so I'm dealing with that right now, like trying to blow my nose discreetly. It's not a full-blown cold. It just seems like I don't know, something dumb. That's what it seems like. I actually forgot to grab my Allegra. I should really grab that. And maybe that'll help keep the things decongested and go from there. It is Saturday night. We're halfway through the weekend almost. Roxy, what in the world are you doing? Drink your water. You got it. Good job. And this morning I put out a newsletter. I put it in the Discord as well, but just thoughts on the past week, especially with the election and that, and how all that kind of came together. Don't forget to like the stream. Hit that like button. Do that thing. That helps with the algorithm or something. I don't know. Hi, Mousy. How you doing? Glad to see you in. I don't sound terribly bad, but I did sleep a lot this morning, and that felt pretty good. So we've been snowed in for 3 days. Yesterday was the worst of them, and now everything's melting, and it's 40-something degrees out, and voila. That's been pretty great. We haven't had... it's been a minute since we've had this much snow. But thankfully, I'm in a job where I can actually work from home. Like, they gave me a laptop and everything. It's dope. My first corporate job. That's what they usually do when you work at corporate jobs. They give you a computer, so you're not sitting there having to mess with yours. So I'm glad I got rest too. My goodness. This is the day for rest. Tomorrow's a day for rest too. So I will be planning on doing that. I just got some orange juice. I don't know how you guys like your orange juice, but I like the absolute pulpiest orange juice. I want to feel those chunks of orange going through. What's up, Toker? How you doing? I did finish Fear, the original Fear. I'm gonna test this a little bit. I did finish Fear this week. Sorry, readjusting my Reese's Bear. It's working as my stand here. Light bulb. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. So I'm in the first expansion, Extraction Point, right now, working through that. There's the other expansion, Perseus Mandate, and then I'm going to just chug along into the second and third games. So I'm working through that. And if you are a paid Patreon supporter, as I get through the nth review for that, I'm going to have the first chapter available early for all those supporters. So, did I play it back in the day? I actually put pictures in our Discord of us at E3 2005, and it's Orzine is there, and I was there, and they had the Fear station up, the demo station. I didn't play the full game back then, but I did play the demo, and I played it live on the really loud Warner Brothers. I think it was the Warner Brothers booth, but they had a big old masthead. And then in that same thing, I actually posted a picture of the StarCraft Ghost playable sessions, which I didn't get. I didn't get to play StarCraft Ghost. I really wanted to play StarCraft Ghost back then, but the people who were playing it were bogarting the stations and would not let me in. So, hi, little mouse. Yeah, I wish the Kamal had locked in. Now we've got 4 years of mess to look forward to. Freaking great. So, yeah, this past week's been an interesting week. And then I played the demo for Fear 2 on my PlayStation 3 back in the day. And I thought that was interesting. It was obviously visually more developed, higher fidelity, and different. Looked better. But I have given my... If you're not into Discord, check out the Discord. The Discord's pretty dope. It just is. We have some awesome conversations in there, but that's where I get to talk a little bit more about the review as I'm reviewing it or whatever. And if you haven't had a chance to check out the newest review for Star Wars Outlaws, go check it out. Go check it out. It's the newest, latest craze, just past 9,000 views. My goodness. So, yeah, so Infinite Lives, lots of snow, election, just, and then working through Fear. Working through Fear. Emotionally and the game, too. And, trying not to let the entire world just be really freaky deaky. I made her night. How did I do that? Let's get some Diet Mountain Dew in here. I hope everyone's doing well. There was a news report. Yeah, Video Game Chronicles. I don't know where this site seemed to came out of nowhere. Video Game Chronicle. And don't forget to hit the like button here. What's up, Stardust? How you doing, my dude? Video Game Chronicle. This is getting cited. Like, this site just kind of came out of nowhere. I don't know who it is. I should, right? But they're reporting lack of PS5 Pro shortages means some scalpers are reselling at a loss. Instead, it's the disk drive that's being sold at higher prices. Yeah. Scalpers, this is the deck. Scalpers looking to capitalize on the release of the PS5 Pro are struggling to make a profit due to its generally ready availability. Well, that's what happens when your console costs $700 or some incredible amount of money out in Europe. Let's see, formerly Chris Scullion, formerly of Official Nintendo Magazine UK and CVGs. All right, so there's some people here. 1981. Copyright 1981. That's not the actual year. What the heck? I understand. So bear with me. I'm getting over a cold, or I'm starting a cold, or I'm in a process of a cold, a light cold. It's great. Oh, well, little mouse is I'm glad she's watching and enjoying and having a good Saturday, and that's what counts. Um, so the Xbox 360 was had a shortage way back in the day, and if you're a Patreon supporter or even a free one, you can actually go to the site, and I pasted in my journal entry from almost 20 years ago with the 360 launch and how chaotic that was. And I think I talked about it on the last one of these, but a lot of people, since that console was it had faced a shortage for a few months. I want to say it was March or April. Hey, where am I from? I'm from here, the internet, Colorado. Where are you from? How are you? So there was a shortage till like March or April, so people were trying to track down Xboxes so they could resell them for a profit, and that was a huge freaking deal. And so people caught wind of that, and even myself were planning on Turkey. Wow, well, hello from Turkey there. Where in? And so I was planning on hanging out in line for a PS3 a year later so that I could sell it, but I couldn't sell. I couldn't do that because the capital, awesome, and Ankara, right? Or I mean, I don't think it's Istanbul, right? Yeah. Yeah, there we go. I'm smart. Yay! Look at me. How's it going over there? Yes. Everything keeping peaceful? Is it warm? It's got to be middle of the day there. Um, no. What is it like? That's got to be early morning, right? Not bad, not bad. Awesome. Glad to hear. So 2006 comes. I couldn't actually go and resell a PS3 because I was an employee and I had access to that. So unless I called the day off and went and bought one, even then, it's like, that would have been really gray. I would have probably been let go at that point. And I'd even planned on going to our South Denver store because we couldn't do a midnight release. Just like the 360, we had to wait until the morning because that and the Wii launched just days from each other, just like the Xbox and the GameCube did 4 years earlier, and so or 5 years earlier. And so I remember I was the head of the our store's console launches, so we PS3, and I also was there for the 360 launch as well. And we had people who were lined up and they had no intention of playing the game or like actually using the console. They were rushing through. They weren't buying any games. They weren't buying any accessories, which if you're working retail, you're like you want to have that attach rate, right? You want people buying the extra stuff that goes with it. Um, and people weren't because they were going through. They had their tickets in hand. They're like, I'm just buying a console because the year before, Best Buy had been trying to, and I worked at Best Buy. The Best Buy had been trying to force people to buy bundles of consoles that didn't make any sense, and so selling an arcade that had a wired controller but a wireless charger with it, nuts. Um, but the people were not, since we weren't forcing any bundles, not that we wanted to, no one was buying anything with the PS3. So people were buying PS3s. And I remember even before I came to work, like reading articles about people on eBay who had their PS3s up for less than retail value already. And like, what's the point? they're selling at a loss. People had like multiple PS3s and they were selling them at a loss because no one was buying them for the games. They were buying 360. 360 was selling like crazy that holiday. And the Wii U as well. Or the Wii, not the Wii U. Wii U was still a few years out. And it was is sad for those scalpers. Sad for those scalpers. So yeah, not really a surprise. If you're in that first week, I guess like I don't even know when. I imagine for PS5 and Series S/X, where there was a shortage for a while, in the midst of the pandemic, like that could have been a profitable venture. But the idea of a people rushing in, I mean, you do it at your own risk. You do it at your own risk. So yeah, you can go and sit there line. I mean, how is that worth your time? Like you're making maybe $100, $150, even with shipping for these consoles, and you got to sit in line for however long to get them. Eventually, you just kind of, even if you are selling them for $100, $200 profit, you know, what's the point? Why put in all that effort for that unless you're cutting in somewhere along the line? Sorry. Trying to figure that out. Do you think Bethesda has an MCU problem? Easy story, superficial payoff. How do you mean? All their stories have been kind of easy. All their stories have been kind of superficial. I remember playing Morrowind 20 to 21 years ago. And I remember not wanting to play the story at all. I remember when I cracked open Morrowind when it arrived on the original Xbox, I was like, I never want to play the story once. I don't want to touch the story, aside from you landing on the boat and having to do the tutorial. I remember doing everything except the story. Now, I did some of the stories in the expansions when you're actually going out to Blood Moon and the island and building up that colony out there. But yeah, the best part of Bethesda games has always kind of been for me the part where you don't do the story. So when I played the story for Starfield, I was like, the heck? I remember playing through a chunk of the story for Skyrim, doing all the dragon shout stuff, and I don't know, I didn't make like that much. I didn't make it that deeply into the story of Skyrim, but I remember it was like, yeah, that's all right. Fallout 3 and 4, I beat those stories, although I kind of held off on 3. I think 4 is a better story. And I say that in my review. So if you haven't watched my review for Fallout 4 from 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 9 years ago, 9 years ago, 9 years ago, I made a review for Fallout 4. My goodness. The lore of Skyrim was better than Dragonborn Civil War between two factions and more quests. Yeah, but you know, those games also buried a lot of their fleshy stuff in books in the worlds. And so if you were into that, I was never into that. Playing through Fear right now, a lot of the story is buried in the audio logs, the voicemails, and the laptops you can get, because otherwise it's just spooky shit. It's like, oh, enter a level, here's spooky shit happening. Like, hardly anything going on in that game, story-wise. Story's dumb. That's what I'm trying to say. Story of Fear is dumb. You heard it first. You heard it here first. 19 years after the video game releases. It may not be the first, but it is the nth review. What can I say? So, yeah, like the story of Starfield is not great at all. I think Bethesda does need to have a reboot. I think they need new ideas. I think that's what happens when you have people who are there and in charge for 15, 20 years. They kind of develop best practices and they don't shake up their orthodoxies enough. so they get stuck kind of doing the same thing, whether they're, I mean, obviously with the best of intents, but it doesn't come out that way. What's frustrating, however, is how poorly gamers have been treating them, how much they have been harassing them. Starfield was the nail on the coffin for Xbox. Was it? Was it really? I mean, it was kind of it was a downer, but considering Xbox has struggled for the past 11 years now, after Don Matrix set them on the wrong direction, like Starfield just feels like a bump in the road. Phil Spencer was right. Like, they lost the absolute wrongest generation to lose against PlayStation, who finally was starting to get their online stuff together when they did not. Like, who remembers when PSN was down for, was it like 6-7 weeks? Like, down, you couldn't do anything with PlayStation Network. I got a free copy of Infamous from that. So that's pretty cool. I'm sure if I plugged in my PlayStation Network somewhere, I could pull down my free copy of Infamous, which was a fun game. I had a lot of fun with that game. I actually captured some footage, and it's in, I don't know, I think Watch Dogs, actually. The original nth review for Watch Dogs. I think that's in there. But I think Bethesda took what they did best, and they did a stretch content-wise, and forgot that you need to fill in the details. And I'll be honest, like I said in the review, I thought one of the best parts of Starfield was actually just kind of wandering across barren, empty places. I've grown so tired of hyper-tailored, hyper-designed funnels that don't feel like alien worlds. They feel like video game levels. And so when you're out wandering the forests and stumbling upon stuff, and then granted, there's a lot of repetitive content. There's a lot of, I'm seeing this science station again that I've seen 1 billion times before. It's not great. It's not fun. I wish they mixed it up. I have not had much of any interest in their post-release content, but I usually don't. Like, will I go back and play the expansions and stuff for Outlaws? Probably not, honestly. Because I got new games to review, or old games to review, or whatever the hell I'm doing. I had mentioned earlier in this broadcast that I got the itch to go back to Infinite Lives and see if that's a viable documentary that I can make again, or recut. Because it'll be 15 years next year since it came out. New Doom prequel is coming out, but have you heard? Yeah, The Dark Ages. Yeah, they unveiled that this year. I don't know is it a prequel, or I guess it is, because it's supposed to like be this fantasy medieval kind of setting. Yeah, there was a big old reveal at E3 back in June. I haven't heard anything more about it. Same as kind of everyone else. It's been, what's going on there? Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna keep saying yeah in different ways. So keep an eye out. Working on the Fear games. They are shorter games, kinda more towards Red Faction. But everyone asked me to review them. Everyone asked me, "Hey, Nth, Nick, go play those Fear games," and I'm like, "Okay, I'll go do it." So I've already beat the first one, and I'm working through the first expansion. Getting it there. Just to surf on the concept of the future of Xbox. Where did we talk about that? This idea that like Xbox is in this post-hardware stage where the number of pieces of hardware you sell isn't like the amount of hardware that's shipping is kind of like the only thing that even Sony has at this point. It's like their most viable metric. Like, yes, they do have award-winning games, God of War, Last of Us, a couple of those. However, Um, they've got to get their games other places. That's why they've been shipping them off to PlayStation. People are all up in arms about Microsoft sending its prized IPs to other platforms. But what's going to happen when people buy PlayStations less and those expensive AAA games still cost $200-300 million each? Like, they've got to put it on multiple platforms to succeed. So Microsoft is trying to get there. Back in, was it like 2006, 2007, people were like, is there any reason to ever make consoles? Like, is everyone just going to buy on PC? And it's like, no, but the platform is becoming less relevant. I mean, you open up a PlayStation or an Xbox and the hardware is pretty identical. You know, the difference is in how they treat what games they develop as exclusives, what services they provide, and the values there. We're kind of coming into this post-hardware situation. So we can cry about there not being, enough Xboxes sold against PlayStation 5s. And Microsoft's like, who cares? We're going to make money with the consoles we do sell. We're going to make money on PC. We're going to make money selling games. Sony's got to figure that part out. And because they don't have the resources that Microsoft does, it's going to be harder for them. Does Microsoft aim to put Game Pass on a fridge? Yeah, if you have a viable fridge. Those Samsungs got those screens in there and you can do the notes and other stuff like that. I guarantee if they could, and there was a consistent amount of refrigerators that they could put Game Pass on, hell yeah, they would. I mean, they've been talking about, hey, we'll put Game Pass on Switch. We would put Game Pass on PlayStation. Hell yeah, we would. I think the reason why they sell hardware at all at this point is kind of just to not let Sony dictate the price of hardware and the hardware capabilities. They sell like 1,000. If it's like Xbox in Japan where they're selling 1,000 a year or whatever the hell they're at now, and they've always been terrible in Japan. Like, they still want a foot in the door to not let Sony dictate all the terms and all the prices and this and that. Because eventually the importance of that hardware will mean less than anything ever. So, yeah, they would put Game Pass in your pregnancy test. It's like, hey, while you wait, here's Halo Infinite. Off you go. Have fun. Get some multiplayer. What's up, Yahoo? Dropping in here. I didn't see Baldy. I thought he was going to hop in. Oh, well. If you guys can hit the like button. I don't see anyone hit the like button on this yet. Go hit that like button. Everyone. All at once. Just got to smash, smash, smash. Smash that like button. Do all that stuff. I hope everyone is doing okay. What do you think about Kojima's and Sony's collab? I haven't seen much about the Sony one. There was like SysDev or something like that. Because he's doing something for Xbox, he's doing something for Sony. Blah, blah, blah. Fizzant? I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about OD either, so I don't know. I was never a Kojima guy because I was always on PC. Didn't really ever get into his... With Death Stranding landing on Xbox, I've been tempting to be like, ooh, it's only $20. Better go grab it. Everyone's already done that. Death Stranding, Disco Elysium, and there's a couple other games that have been video essayed to death. So it feels like if I picked it up, I would be able to play it. Because there's always that balance, and people have asked me in Q&As in Patreon over the years, like, how do you decide which games to play and which games to review? And sometimes that's hard. Like, sometimes there'll be games where I set it up, I want to review this game, and then I play it for a few hours, and it's like, I do not want to review this game, and usually I don't even want to play it at that point. So Death Stranding, I haven't. Yeah, because like I said, I just have not been like a Kojima head. Like I don't like I'm not into Silent Hill or like a lot of the Japanese games of the PlayStation 2 era. I kind of skipped around because I was on PC and then Xbox. So like the Final Fantasies, the Silent Hills, the Metal Gear Solids, like the PlayStation exclusives, the ones that really made PlayStation stand out. I missed out all of those, and I don't have a lot of reference for them. Gran Turismo's the same way. I was a Forza guy for years, but even like that's so dry. That's why I enjoy Horizon. That's why I enjoy Project Gotham, stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot. So I'm happy for him. But I was growing up with Remedy games, so every so often I'll pop open Control, and I'll play that. Someday I'll beat it. Someday I'll play it again and beat it. That'll be great. I've got it on the Xbox. I've got it on my console. I can go play it. I need to. It looks interesting. I'm a couple levels in. I don't know how many hours. But I'm playing Fear now. I can't be playing other games. I'm actually been playing mobile games. I might do a mobile game roundup in a vertical format like this for those who are looking for it. I was actually looking up the other day, what's the market for long form video vertical videos? And I guess it's real. Control and Alan Wake 2 are so good but underrated. Yeah, I have the original. If you watch my Alan Wake review, I went out and bought the special edition, the ultra special edition of that game. So yeah, the one that looked like a book and it had everything in it from the soundtrack to the extra, like the Diary of Nightingale, Agent Nightingale, stuff like that. That was a. But I didn't like playing it. I liked the story. I thought it was great, but I didn't like playing Alan Wake. Just redundant and just bleh, bleh. Fear's fun to play though. Fear's fun to play, which I hope to convey in my review when it comes out of the trilogy. You said you don't hold Kojima with the same nostalgia as some studios, but do you have any attachment to From Software? No, same thing. No, they did Chrome Hounds on the 360, and I didn't play that. I did buy Elden Ring because I had to. I had FOMO. I had to be like, "What's this Elden Ring?" Apparently, it's easy. It's like a roguelike, and uh, I streamed it, and the time that I spent streaming it was about all the time I spent playing it. Go figure. Yeah. I did. I remember playing uh, Otaki. Was that cause one on the original Xbox? I played that at E3 years and years ago. What did they? They did two of those games on there. Not Otaki. That was on the Wii. What were those games? It was on the original Xbox. What were those games? It doesn't help me. Sorry, this is holding up everyone. No, not that. Where was that? Otogi. Yeah, I remember playing Otogi on the original Xbox, at least the demo. I thought that was interesting, but that's about all I played. I bought Dai Senryaku 7 on the original Xbox, which is not a From Software game, but it is a Japanese military tile-based hex strategy game, which is one of the weird things. I had to go to GameStop and pick that up. So, all right. Well, we're about past here. We kind of just set these up for half an hour. But yeah, hit the like on the thing. Go watch my Star Wars Outlaws review. Go check it out if you haven't already, because it just hit 9,000 views. So go check it out. It's the newest, latest, and greatest nth review. And I also have that new review of the Blizzard book by Jason Schreier, The Red Faction, and go check out the Discord. We talk about this stuff after hours. And if you're a creator we like to help creators there too, especially on platforms like this. So, all right, let's get out of here. Thank you guys. Have a good night. We're gonna get the hell out of here. Pew!